the Democratic presidential candidate of United States of America, Joe Biden, picking Kamala Harris as his running mate, and the International Youth Day program scheduled for you. Please enjoy them. On the international scene, Joe Biden picks black female senator as running mate. Former U.S. Vice President Joe Biden has chosen California Senator Kamala Harris to join him on the Democratic ticket, fulfilling his pledge to select a female running mate. Harris thus becomes the first black person ever tapped as the vice presidential nominee of a major political party. Biden's campaign announced the pick on Tuesday through his webpage. The selection of Harris, who is 55, lends racial diversity, gender parity, and generational breadth to Biden's campaign. It also presents a strategic decision by the 77-year-old former vice president to keep his ticket firmly. Back when Kamala was Attorney General, she worked closely with Bill, tweeted Biden, referring to his late son, Bill Biden. I watched as they took on the big banks, lifted up working people, and protected women and kids from abuse. I was proud then, and I am proud now to have her as my partner in this campaign. The selection came despite a month-long pressure campaign from leftist factions that wanted Biden to pick a progressive star like Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts. And in the final few weeks of the search, concerted lobbying by prominent Democrats on behalf of the California Rep. Karen Bass and former Obama National Security Advisor Susan Rice. Following the announcement, Rice complimented Harris in a statement, calling her a tenacious and trailblazing leader who will make a great partner on the campaign trail. Bass did the same, saying in a tweet that Harris' tenacious pursuit of justice and relentless advocacy for the people is what is needed right now. Harris has a uniquely American biography. Her mother was a widely respected breast cancer researcher who immigrated to the United States from India in the 1960s. Her father, Donald Harris, is an eminent economist who spent much of his career at Stanford University. Also an immigrant, Harris moved to the United States from Jamaica around the time his future wife came from India. First-term senator who served as California's Attorney General from 2020 to 2016, Harris has drawn on her personal and professional experience to emerging as a leader in the Senate on racial justice issues. We have all watched her hold the Trump administration accountable for its corruption, stand up to a Justice Department that's run amok, and be a powerful voice against their extreme nominations, said in his announcement Tuesday, touting her experience in the Senate. She's been a leader on criminal justice and marriage equality, and she has focused like a laser on the racial disparities as a result of the coronavirus, Biden said. A member of the Judiciary Committee, Harris in 2018 co-sponsored the first ever bill to make lynching a federal crime. The bill passed the Senate and the House overwhelmingly, but a final version was blocked by Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky. Harris was also a co-author of this spring of Democrats. She wrote, "Broader police reform legislation drafted in response to the national uprising that followed the death of George Floyd, an unarmed black man killed by Minneapolis police in May, and the fatal police shooting of Breonna Taylor, a black EMT, at her home in Louisville, Kentucky, in March." Yet Harris, like Biden himself, is considered by many in Washington to be a moderate, pragmatic lawmaker rather than an ideologue. This could complicate incumbent President Donald Trump's effort to portray Biden as a tool of the radical left. Harris has also repeatedly teamed with Republican colleagues to draft legislation during her first 3 years in the Senate. The announcement comes after a 4-month selection process that saw at least a dozen prominent women vetted for the position. The Vice Presidential Selection Committee was headed by former Senator Chris Dodd of Connecticut, one of Biden's oldest friends. Other members included Biden campaign's co-chair Eric Garcetti, the mayor of Los Angeles, Rep. Lisa Blunt Rochester, who represents Biden's home state of Delaware in the House, and Cynthia Hogan, who served as counsel to Biden in the Senate and later in the Obama administration. Throughout the process, insiders say Biden's top priority has always been to select a vice president he can trust, someone with whom Biden can have the same deep personal relationship he had with President Barack Obama during his 8 years as vice president. Biden's strategy for choosing a running mate has evolved over the past few months as his lead over President Donald Trump in national polls and battleground states has increased. During the late winter and spring, when Biden was still locked in a primary battle against Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, many on his campaign team saw the vice presidential pick primarily as a chance for Biden to name a progressive who could help him unite the establishment of arm of the Democratic Party with its left flank. But as Biden's lead over Trump grew in the late spring and summer, progressive Democrats coalesced around him. By early July, instead of needing a VP who could help galvanize support on the left, Biden's advisors had come to believe he merely needed one who would do no harm to his strong standing in the poll. Welcome back. That was actually a long one, and you can get that story from the Nigerian news online. Search the Facebook, search the YouTube. You can get the Nigerian news, even on Twitter. And like I said, Comrade Kevin is already in the studio. Let me start like this. You watched all the programs already from how we started, from the IPOB to the Mietiala, then to this, but you have 5 minutes to do your analysis. And I want to ask you, is the selection of this black woman, Kamala Harris, by Joe Biden, a kind of threat to the presidential ambition, that is second-term ambition of Donald Trump?
Yes, thank you. I would like to say clearly that the choice of Kamala Harris is a masterstroke for the Democrats.
Against the Republican.
Against the Republican. Why do you say so? I say so because if you look at the international policy somersault of President Donald Trump, that has put the blacks, the Asians, in a lot of uncertainty, it now becomes a reference point to choose a racial justice advocate, a former Attorney General of one of the richest states in the United States, California, and a black woman. You see, the trajectory of this choice is such that, as it is, all things being equal, except we are looking at a situation whereby the projections we are having as political analysts are not correct. Otherwise, the choice of Kamala Harris has put Joe Biden at a pole position at a time when the rating of Donald Trump is dwindling. Now, the background: Jamaica, Indian.
Jamaica are more or less African.
You understand? Now you look at it from that point, you look at the work she has done in the Senate. Clearly, the work has put Donald Trump and his party in the spotlight that has made them become very, 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 very defensive in a lot of their policies. For the first time, we are going to see an election that incumbency will not be a factor in the United States. We are going to see where the women...
Incumbency will not be a factor in the United States.
Where the women, where the traditionally immigrants will come together to give support to a ticket that will bring about real economic growth post-COVID-19.
Thank you very much, Comrade Kevin. Anytime one can always depend on you. In 1 minute, I believe you have something to say, Comrade Kevin. You are true, isn't it?
Yes, but I would want to look at, I want to say just 2 minutes to look at the issue of security.
Yes.
I heard Comrade Mohammed Bashir,
Honorable
Mohammed Bashir made certain comments. And I have to put it clear on national television. Security is the responsibility of government.
The number one responsibility.
There is no saying otherwise. If the government, for some reasons, cannot tame the security challenges we are having, I can say with all due respect that the government is failing. Okay. There is no excuse whatsoever for the government to begin to attribute the failures of maintaining security. There is no excuse whatsoever.
No, he did not speak as on behalf of the government. He spoke as an analyst, just like you are speaking now.
Fine.
So the government.
It is always good to emphasize.
Yes, the government is doing their own.
Yes, it's always good to emphasize.
We could see vividly the international
yes,
support.
I will appreciate if TVN could create a platform where we would take much time to talk about security. It is very, 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 very key because some of us have certain insights that are different from the popular opinion that is flying. Because we need to know why our security outfit that used to be the best in the world suddenly became so lukewarm in their approach to fighting security.
All right,
we need to look at it.
It's okay, sir.
Then talking about the youth, I'm happy.
You have 1 minute, sir.
I'm happy that we are celebrating another year,
International Youth Day.
International Youth Day. If we must become great again, the government has to consciously look at structural underpinnings that has put our youth the way they are. If those structural underpinnings were not available at those days, the Gowon of this world would have aspired and became a president at this time. If those structural underpinnings were not there, the leaders that we are having today wouldn't have grown in confidence to do the job of nation building. What happened? We need to ask that question. In between what happened and where we are now is the solution to the failure of taking the youth along because of what? The death of mentorship.
Thank you very much, Comrade Kevin. You are always a reliable resource person, and thanks once again for coming to Spectacle on TVN.
Thank you.
Comrade Felix, just in 10 seconds, your last statement.
In that 10 seconds, our appeal that you also extended.
We have
the response to the issue of the U.S. politics ongoing. I want to tell you that the people of the strategy of the Democrats is very, very pungent, and then it's intended to kind of puncture Trump's confidence in the forthcoming election. But I want to assure you that from the look of things and from what we've seen and what we understand, in my opinion, the people of the United States, you cannot use the Nigerian system of democracy to address what is going on there. They are strongly with Trump. Trump has demonstrated uncommon courage. He has demonstrated strength of leadership and character.
Okay.
He has stood firm. He has been a man of his word, and I believe, and I have no shred of doubt or an iota of doubt, that the good people of the United States will re-elect Trump to come back for a second term. Right. Then on a second note, the issue of Mietiala, Kazari, or whatever group they are just nothing but a group. Okay. And I want to say that their affront on the people of Benue State and the Benue State government is uncalled for. It's an invitation to anarchy. Okay. There is nobody that has monopoly of violence. Exactly. For this group to always continue to threaten the people of Benue State, threaten the government of Benue State, is condemnable, and we want the government at the center, the federal government, to make strong statement, to come out with strong body language to curtail their excesses. You cannot go to a man's land and start setting up security apparatus across the state. What you will see doing at Motekun today is southwestern state-oriented kind of security. Yes. We want to see that of Middle Belt, want to see that of Southwest, want to see that of Southeast, South-South, and regional security to support the security at the center. Right. Because from the look of things, our security seems to be overstretched.
It's true.
This is to support them. This is not in any way taking their job away. Exactly. But for them to say that they want to set up security, there is a difference between saying, okay, we are in a state. This is an area we occupy by us. We want to put our security